Hi, I'm Tony Van Veen, CEO at Discmakers. Did you know that the way you release your music, I'm talking about the timing, the sequencing of when you release each of your product formats on streaming, CD, and vinyl, can make a big difference in how much money you make from your new album? I read a really interesting article in Billboard the other day with the headline, "Why Some Artists Are Waiting to Put Albums on Streaming Services." In it, they give an example of the group No Worries, which is a duo of Anderson .Paak and the artist called Knowledge, and how for their current album, they released it first on CD, vinyl, and cassette, and a week later, they launched it on the streaming platforms. Why did they do that? Well, officially, their label said, and I quote, they wanted to do something special for their fans by giving them an opportunity to experience the record a bit earlier, end quote. But why did they really do that? To make more money from their music. With a physical first album release, your most passionate fans will be compelled to rush out and order it, and even better, if you have it available, pre-order it. This is a big difference from how over the past decade many artists and labels have treated their release windows. The main focus was always on streaming. When do we launch on Spotify? And yes, all the labels would also do physical releases for their album. However, they would either drop everything at the same time, streaming, CD, vinyl, which is a good strategy, don't get me wrong, or because of how long it used to take to press vinyl a couple of years ago, the labels would release an album digitally first and then months later release the vinyl, which is a terrible strategy because that really cut into physical product revenues, and physical product that you don't sell costs you money. So I'm excited about this new beginning trend of releasing physical albums before releasing the album on streaming. And believe it or not, it's not just because I own a CD and vinyl pressing company. This physical first release strategy just has so many advantages for you, the artist. Let me list them. First and foremost, as I already mentioned, dropping a physical album before it goes live on streaming allows you to make more money from your music because your passionate fans will rush out to buy the album so that they can hear it before its streaming release. On a related note, it engages your biggest fans. They get excited about getting your physical album. And because they are excited about it, they will talk about it. They'll post pictures and videos on social media of your new record or your CD. In other words, your physical release, if done first before streaming, is likely to generate free promotion for you, which will not only help you sell more physical, it can even help boost streams when the album does drop digitally. And here's another benefit. Releasing physical first has no negative impact on streaming numbers. As I just mentioned, the hype from your fans who bought the physical might even boost your streams. Plus, let's be real here for a second. All those fans who bought your album, yes, they'll listen to that record or CD, but realistically, they'll probably listen to your album on Apple Music or Tidal or Spotify just as much, if not more, which will get you additional streaming royalties on top of the revenue you got when you sold them that CD. And finally, releasing a physical album first will allow you to better control the narrative of your promotional messaging. And you can be more direct and therefore more effective in what you ask your fans to do. For example, in weeks 1 and 2, when you only have your physical LPs for sale, you can be messaging that to your fans. Hey, the album is out now on CD and LP only. Get it at my website and on my Bandcamp page before they run out. This messaging is much harder to do and more muddied if you have physical and streaming out at the same time. Stream my music or get it on my website and Bandcamp just doesn't have quite the same impact as go get this album now on my site. And as we discussed already, it certainly won't drive as many sales. Plus, releasing vinyl first just gives you more to talk about, to fans and to the media. After all, after a few weeks of talking about your physical album, you can switch your PR messaging or your promo messaging or your social messaging to, I'm so excited, my new album is streaming now on Spotify, Apple, Amazon, and wherever you listen to music. Go stream it today. Plus, again, you can be more direct and directive in your promo messaging, encouraging your fans to act in the way you want them. In this case, now go stream my album. So does all this work? Well, yes, it does. In the Billboard article I mentioned, Andrew Jervis, who is the chief curator for Bandcamp, talks about the electronic artist Knower, Knower, if you want to look them up, who did this for their recent album. And they were actually really blunt about it. They released the album first as a vinyl and a download on Bandcamp before putting it on streaming. And they told their fans, and I quote, "We need to make some money. Here's where you can come and support us by buying this record," end quote. And the fans responded in a big way. They ended up buying some $85,000 in vinyl and a similar extra amount in downloads on Bandcamp before the album went live on Spotify a few months later. Months. You know, it's so interesting to watch how the musical landscape is changing right now. Physical, which was viewed as irrelevant a decade or so ago, is now widely considered essential for acts of all sizes who are serious about engaging with superfans and optimizing their music income. Streaming, which was viewed as everything just a few years ago, should, at least for emerging artists, now probably be equated more with what radio used to be, a discovery medium for your music. If you want to be discovered by new fans, your music needs to be there. By all means, every single you drop needs to be there. And your album needs to be there too, eventually. But in today's music industry, there's more than one way to release an album. And I hope you see that releasing just the physical versions first, a few weeks or maybe months before going to streaming, is a plus for your fans who have something to get excited about, and for your wallet, which is a big deal if you want to have a sustainable music career. Do you have any thoughts on this? Please leave a comment below. I love checking them out and answering. I hope you found this helpful. I'll see you next time.